We're at Metro Park here in Billings, Montana, where the field of 32 has been cut to just 2 teams of the NAIA Division I Women's Basketball National Championship. Fans making their way inside Rimrock Auto Arena to see which team will wear the national crown between 1 seed Montana Western and 3 seed Oklahoma City. And hi everybody, thanks for being with us. I'm Krista Blunt along with Elise Woodward. And Elise, the tournament has not disappointed up to this point. The teams, the games, they've been incredibly close to get us here.
Yeah, there's no question that there's been energy in this arena. There's been really good basketball and some compelling games that went down to the wire, including yesterday, a semifinal game that took a last-second 3 to tie it up to send it to overtime. It was pretty thrilling.
Yeah, for Montana Western, this team, this is their first trip to the national championship. And how about that buzzer beater?
And that's what we were talking about there, right there. Bree King making the 3 to send it into overtime. Just 2.2 seconds left. Freed Hardman could not answer. And so Montana Western, for the first time in the history of their school, here tonight to try to win a national championship.
So impressive. What a way to make your way to the championship game. But on the other side, Oklahoma City, they are more experienced as far as getting to the championship game, but they were knocked out in the first round last year. This group making sure they made their way back.
Yeah, it's a really big team. They've got 4 players over 6 feet tall. That right there, Abby Seltzer, the 6'2" freshman that leads them in scoring. That's their senior, Michaela Kay. She's not a 6-footer, but boy, does she play big. They're a team that can 2-3 zone you to death. They take away opening gaps in that zone, and they really make it difficult to shoot the ball. So a contrast in styles here tonight.
Incredible depth for Oklahoma City, and they are here for the 13th time in the championship game. They're going to be looking for their 10th national championship. We're going to find out who will take the crown. Going to be a phenomenal finish. Will it be Montana Western or Oklahoma City wearing the national crown at the end? We'll find out. It's the NAIA Division I Women's Basketball National Championship. We've got it coming up for you next, right here on ESPN3.
Our physicians and athletic trainers have been building better athletes for over 20 years. We are the official sports medicine provider to the Billings Mustangs, MSUB Yellow Jackets, and Rocky Mountain College Battle Bears. AMP ensures that athletes of all ages and skill levels receive the training and medical care for top performance and to stay healthy. AMP, Athletic Medicine and Performance, powered by St. Vincent Healthcare, Ortho Montana, and Yellowstone Surgery Center.
Welcome back to Billings, Montana. It's the Rimrock Auto Arena hosting the NAIA Division I Women's Basketball National Championship. So glad you could be with us. We are officially down to 2 teams, and the winner of this one will take home the national championship crown. This arena is packed. A school from Montana has made their way to this game. Montana Western, the 1 seed, only about 4 hours west of Billings. And so the crowd on their feet. But Oklahoma City, they've traveled well also to cheer on the Oklahoma City Stars. Krista Blunt, Elise Woodward with you, and we are excited about this one. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Stars. It looks like this. They have 2 seniors, both of which start, Michaela Kay and Taylor LaCour. Peyton Taylor also in that starting lineup, along with Nishyla Hammonds and Taylor Sylvester, the junior out of Oklahoma. A team that comes in 33-4. And the head coach, Bo Overton, on the other side for the Bulldogs. Montana Western starts things off like this. They have 6 seniors, and they kick it off with Paige Holmes in one of the guard spots, with Britt Cooper, the senior, Sierra Lamy, another one there. And there's Bree King, the senior and WBCA Player of the Year, as well as Tori Anderson. So 4 of the 5 starters for the Bulldogs are seniors. And we are ready for the tip. It's Sylvester in blue, the traveling blue, white stripe for Oklahoma City. And Montana Western wearing the home whites, trimmed in red and black. And here we go, quarter number 1. Elise, we have seen fast-paced semifinals. Games prior to that, we're expecting a high pace here also. And right off the back, a quick look inside. The size is going to be a big factor for the Stars.
Yeah, you see right away the first possession of the game, they go underneath. 4 players over 6 feet tall in the rotation for Oklahoma City U. For Montana Western, just not the case. They have 2 players over 6 feet, and they're not 2 of their top scorers.
You see this lengthy zone, but trying to attack it, the Bulldogs, and a block shot right back into the hands of Britt Cooper, and she sends it out. Shot up and no good for Laney, but a long rebound, and there's their leader, Bree King.
So you see OKCU standing in this 2-3 zone with 6'5" Sylvester in the middle.
Yeah.
Already 1 block shot. She averages 3 a game. She is a force down there when you try to get in the paint.
They kick it out to Lamy, ball fake, up and under, and good. Working it inside, Britt Cooper finishing it off. That's what they wanted to do. Big key for the Bulldogs coming in. Attack that lengthy zone.
A 7-inch height disadvantage down low right now. Somehow she managed to score on the other end.
Taylor Sylvester, she'll step back and she'll take it, but I think if you're the Bulldogs, you say, okay, we're going to give you that shot as opposed to the layup down low.
No, well done by Sylvester. 6'5", turned, faced the bucket. And like you said, the Montana Western's defense will let her take that shot until she makes a few in a row, and then they're going to have to get out.
Definitely so. Coach Overton for the Stars told us we have to rebound, as immediately Bulldogs again, they want to get it inside as best they can, and they've been able to do it twice.
Well, impressive that they have 2 lay-ins, 4 points in the paint already against this bigger team. This Oklahoma City U defense only allows 29% shooting to their opponents all season. They're number 1 in the nation. They make it tough, but not so far for Montana Western.
Baseline jumper off the mark for Peyton Taylor, sophomore out of Oklahoma. And an opportunity as we're tied up here in the first quarter for the Bulldogs to take the lead. King, help D, stripping it away. Trying to push the tempo, nice bank shot, good, as Peyton Taylor making up for the miss earlier. She can shoot the 3 also. She's an all-conference honorable mention member. Both of our teams tonight won their regular season conference titles, but lost in their conference tournaments.
And you saw that time, Sylvester does not block that shot, but certainly altered it.
Yes. Her presence makes you change things. As not able to get the angle there was Taylor LaCour. Help D coming over, splitting the gap. Tori Anderson keeps that follow through up.
And that's what they're really going to need. 3-point productivity to keep up with all the points in the paint on the other side.
Bulldogs average about 8 threes a game. On the other side, the Stars, they average about 7 per game. High-low game, and a great move using her body was Taylor LaCour.
And it's just so difficult. At 6'5", Sylvester sees right over the top of the pressure. She sees right over to hit her teammate down low for an easy bucket.
LaCour, one of the 2 seniors for the Stars. This is a fairly young team to think they've made it back to the championship game, but working the baseline, the miss by Cooper. Boy, there's one you want back.
And again, even though the shot is not blocked, you just wonder, with so much of a height disadvantage, if they're just kind of pushing it out a little bit too quickly and missing that one short underneath.
Again, the high post shot this time no good for Sylvester, but you're right, that size and length can make you maybe rush your game a little bit.
Well, Bree King, ball in her hands. She's not yet attempted a shot. She had 39 points in the Final Four, the semifinal win last night in overtime. The big shot 3, down by 3, 2 seconds to go. She tied it up to send it into overtime, but they need to get her involved, and there she is.
Well, you said it, and she produces. Bree King the single season record holder coming in, and she's just adding to it. Came into this one with 7:34. Give her 3 more.
Yeah, you have to know where she is. Anytime she crosses half court, she makes things happen for that offense.
Well, and that's exactly what the Stars had been doing. It's easier said than done, but a big focus for them was to try to slow her down and not let her get to spots that she wants to be in. Shot clock down to 5. Hammonds tries to drive it in, gets the shot no good, batted out, long rebound. They'll say nope, it was batted, but the shot clock violation. So it's gonna go the other direction. First quarter of action underway here in the championship game. The leader, the big 3, puts her team up by 2. First quarter underway, and Elise, let's go over the keys of the game for these two teams.
Well, a great start for Montana Western with that key. They are out rebounding the bigger OKCU team at 6-2. A couple of offensive rebounds, which kept possessions alive. So they're off to a great start there. For Oklahoma City, they have to know where Bree King is. She only has 1 shot in the first 5 minutes of this game. That's a success. It was a 3, though, that she drilled. They have to keep that top of the zone closed on her whenever she tries to get in the paint. She loves to drive.
Yeah, she definitely does. She'll look for opportunities both inside and out. And not easy to keep up with her, especially with the zone.
No, she's really creative and got good body control and looks to get to the free throw line.
That's her right there, kicking it out to Anderson. 2 for 2 behind the arc.
And you saw all the defense collapse to King, and that left the open player outside, and Tori Anderson drilled it.
Senior out of Rigby, Idaho. And working it inside, it's Brennan Siegler who's checked down, kicks it back out. Michaela Kay with the 3 ball.
Michaela Kay out of Spokane, out in the Spokane area for high school. She played at Central Valley. So is Bree King, who played at North Central. Those two guarding each other right now. Grew up in high school. They've been rivals for a long time.
They have. They've never played on a team together. They've always faced one another. This is the biggest way to face each other. Uh-oh, feeling it. Bree King, another 3.
She's 2 for 2. And that quick release from the right wing, nothing but net.
She was 5 of 10 behind the arc last night in their win against Freed Hardeman. Impressive outing, you said it, 39 points for her. They try to go high-low, the Stars do. Try to work it into Abby Selzer, who's checked in, the freshman from Thomas, Oklahoma.
Yeah, and unconventional for Bo Overton. Good shot at him right there, the head coach of the Stars. His 2 leading scorers are freshmen, and they both come off the bench. They're both on the floor right now. You mentioned Abby Selzer, their second leading scorer, Mallory Locker. Excellent shooter, especially from 3. And they both come off the bench. That's how deep this team is for the Stars.
They literally have 5 possible scorers at a time as the Bulldogs work it around to the top. And there's Savannah Bignell, who's checked in, the junior from Avon, Montana.
Oh, and I love the fight for her guarding the ball right now, number 40 in white. You see the knee brace on that right knee. She has a torn ACL. It is torn. She tore it back in November and decided to forego surgery. She knew what a special group this was for Montana Western this season, and she's like, I do not want to miss it. She missed a few games in and out because of that injury, but she's provided a huge spark for this Bulldogs team. You talk about sacrificing for your team.
Sure are.
Playing on a shredded knee, that probably tops the list.
Yeah, it's really remarkable. Look at her scrappy effort, but she's going to get whistled a little too much. The foul against Bignell, her first.
And she's got a bunch of cousins, huge family that has gone to Montana Western, 6 cousins.
Her sister Sierra was a senior last year for Montana Western. As working it outside, in and out for Michaela Kay, long rebound, and it's tracked down by Paige Holmes. So both sides have gone to their bench. They're bringing some fresh legs and looking for a spark. But it's been a physical, tough tournament. You get to this point where you've played 5 straight games, basically, almost 5 straight, and you need some fresh legs. Yes.
Yeah, in over a week's time.
Back out again, Bignell, too much on it, long rebound batted around into the hands of Shy, and she kicks it back out to King. King finds her teammate in the left corner, Holmes, and she'll say, let's set it up. Under 2 minutes left here in the first quarter.
And again, another rebound for Montana Western. This is Not what was expected to have them out-rebounding the Stars.
Brandy Bookout, senior out of Draper, Utah, gets fouled, so it's an out of bounds underneath for the Bulldogs, as Bo Overton's looking and probably thinking, we have a bigger team that needs to box out and get the rebounds. He said that was so crucial.
Well, there's so much tradition in history. Bo Overton has already won a national championship with OKCU 2 years ago, 2017. But this program has won nine national titles.
Yeah, the most of any other team in the NAIA.
And for Montana Western, this is the first time they've ever appeared in the title game. So a vast difference in terms of experience at this level.
Definitely. So another rebound, this time into the hands of Shannon Wooster. And all over the glass. Big difference in last night's game. The win for Montana Western, they had 14 offensive rebounds, but they got 20 points off of them. It's what you do with it. And Coach Lindsay Woolley has to be pretty happy with the effort right now.
Yeah, they are using their quickness and their instincts to get inside that zone defense. The zone defense can force bad shots, but it does have a hard time rebounding.
King found the gap in and out, and they'll say it'll go the other way. So a break. Multiple chances that the Bulldogs didn't capitalize on that time, though. Oh, there's that Spokane-Washington matchup right there in the guard spot. Kick out, high arcer, in and out for Taylor, but the putback, that's what Abby Selzer does.
You saw those sticky hands, the freshman from Thomas, Oklahoma, getting in there. The ball touches her hands, and she will snag it. Rarely knocked out, that time an easy bucket.
In the high post, nothing but net for Darby Shy.
And you love that. For one of two seniors on this team, and Darby Shy does not score a lot of points. She's already her average of 1.8. She's over it with 2 points.
Stars try to work it inside. Instead, it's a takeaway by King as she tries to push the tempo. Under a minute left in the first quarter. Aggressive drive. That time it's Sierra Lamy losing it, but they get it back. Another chance. Lamy works it down low to Wooster, and a travel. And Lamy saying, maybe I should have taken that one.
Yeah, that's too bad. Sierra Lamy had the shot. She was open. She had 14 points and 12 boards in the semifinal win, and she goes down the court after her team turns it over with, you know, the shooting motion, because she's like, yeah, I should have shot that. I was open.
You and I didn't pass up many of those, did we, back in the day?
No.
Not a problem. 6-point lead for the Bulldogs as the first quarter is winding down. We'll see if the Stars can cut into the deficit. On the drive, the and one opportunity. Mallory Lockhart, the freshman, with the bucket.
Shannon Wooster moving her feet, trying to apply pressure. I'll tell you, better offense by Lockhart. Look at this, just losing position a little bit, trying to get back in. But once you have a defender on your hip, it was a really nice job of Lockhart just using that body to get to the foul line and strong enough to go and one.
First free throw is good. She only gets one, rather. Yeah, 3-point play right there. She doesn't miss, does she?
You don't even need to look. It's going down.
Just put it in.
93% foul shooter this season.
King, one dribble in the gap, and they extend the lead back out at the end of the first quarter.
That is impressive for King. Ball in her hand, shot clock winding down. You can't go behind the screen. She's gonna knock it right in your eye, and it's an 8-point lead for Montana Western.
Back here in Billings, Oklahoma City, they know how to get here, don't they, Elise?
What tradition. Wow, it's really impressive. Already with 9 national championships in their program's history, and that's in 13 appearances. That's a pretty good percentage when you get here.
Sure is.
So they're looking for their 10th all-time national championship, the most in NAIA history, whereas for Montana Western, they've never even been to the title game. In fact, in their school's history, Montana Western, they haven't had a sport, any sport, compete for a national championship since wrestling won it back in 1994. This is huge for the community of Dillon, Montana. a population of about 4,500. Most of them are here today, a 4-hour drive. So what a day for the Dillon, Montana community.
Oh, they're excited, and you're right. Yeah, the wrestling championship back in '94. It's questionable. We've been told 4,500, 4,800. They said it depends on who all you count. But
well, they did say there are 9 times as many cows as people.
Yeah, 9-to-1 ratio.
That's pretty impressive. So
that's fun. No, they're excited, and we are too. It's a great story, and this is a team that has only been to the Fab Four, which is the semifinal round, twice, last year and this year. But you're right, never to this game, as it's batted out of bounds. It's going to go the other way. And for the Stars, they just need to settle down. You can see what they're able to do once they kind of relax and settle in.
Well, I think that, for one, Montana Western hit 5 3-point shots in the first quarter. That's crazy. They're on pace for 20 in this game. Can that continue? They're going to probably go through a stretch where the shots don't fall. That's the game of basketball. How close is Oklahoma City at that point? Down by 8 right now, and just given a trip to 2 free throws. That's the key. And then rebounding. I don't think anyone expected Montana Western to be able to out-rebound Oklahoma City U for the game, and yet they have a big advantage right now.
Yeah, after the first quarter, just 4 total boards for Oklahoma City, 9 for Montana Western, 4 of those offensive boards. As it's Sierra Lamy hitting the free throws, and now some full court pressure from the Bulldogs.
I just think it's how close can Oklahoma City keep this while Montana Western is hitting their shots.
10-point lead for the Bulldogs. High arcer is up and off the mark for Kay, and the long rebound into the hands of Tori Anderson.
And once again, it was Britt Cooper down there, undersized, but being aggressive, going to the ball. She tips it away, and her teammate recovers.
Oh, good hands on the perimeter by Lockhart. Almost got the steal. Lamy, the handoff to Bree King. She works it around, had the gap in the look from Anderson. It steps in. Anderson's got the hot hands. Roomies with Bree King at Montana Western, and she's finding her.
Yeah, really excellent start for her. Composed, poised. This is the national championship game. There could be nerves, there could be some adrenaline, but right now both teams look pretty under control.
And largest lead of the game for Montana Western, as that's great hustle on the offensive glass by Peyton Taylor, and they'll say she gets fouled. Second personal on Sierra Lamy, so she takes a seat. Excuse me, the foul actually was on Shannon Wooster, and that's her second, so she takes the seat, sophomore out of Missoula, Montana.
Montana Western, player-to-player defense. They get in your face. They do not want the Stars to be able to look inside because they know that they have a mismatch down low. So pressure on the ball outside, making them uncomfortable, is their key today.
So far it's working. There's a pick and roll. They work it into Sylvester's, got to kick it back out. Shot clock down to 4. Michaela Kay, and it's blocked and taken. Bree King in the lane, and good.
That's
Senior Bree King.
A high-level move by Bree King. She was so patient, did not go so aggressively to pick up a charge, just waited, saw the opening, hung in the air, used body control to finish.
You know, that's exactly what Coach told us today too, Coach Rowley, as there's finally an answer for Oklahoma City.
Oh boy, did they need that to break that run. Such a momentum play for Bree King to start it on the defensive end with the huge steal, kind of the block shot, and then push out and score.
She has great body control. Coach Woolley said that's what stands out to him the most, that she really has control in the air. And again, she hasn't missed one. Tori Anderson.
And she's tugging on her jersey. She needs a sub. She says, man, I'm giving it everything I have, but I'm winded. But Tori Anderson, the senior, understanding what this game means to her in her career, to the community of Dillon, and wants to go out in the last game of her collegiate career with a win.
Big range from Lockhart, but too much on it, and that's a frustration foul for Taylor LaCour, reaching in from behind. And a much-needed breather for Tori Anderson as she comes out. Crowd loving her effort.
Excellent offensive start for Tori Anderson, the 5'10" senior, deep range from 3, and she's hit a couple of those already in this game, but also the pull-up jumper inside that zone, so not allowing that defense to really key on pushing him off the 3-point line. She's done a little bit of everything.
Good high screen, working it around the perimeter. Shot clock down to 8. Not much hesitation from King, and the rebound batted around. Not giving up on it though. Britt Cooper, another chance, and all by herself in the high post. It was Lamy, but she can't stick it.
And another offensive rebound leading to an open opportunity. They don't convert, but this is something that Mo Overton and his team has to be frustrated with. They just cannot contain them on the boards yet.
Oh, great move inside. Taylor LaCour getting down to the low block.
Yeah, excellent athlete. Can play the inside at 6'1", out of Georgetown, Texas, and she's one of the 2 seniors on this Stars team and has a mature part of her game for sure.
Shot no good for Bignell, who's come back in for the Bulldogs. And here is Shamika. They call her Sham Smith, junior from Midwest City, Oklahoma. Up top, she'll run the point. She's got some good quickness. Selzer, they need to get her going, just short. That was a good job by Cooper to push her out a little further.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. She does not miss, usually 64%.
And the and one opportunity. Britt Cooper on the attack on the baseline.
Montana Western is looking for the gaps in the defense, and they are finding them. This right here, the defense moves 2 blue shirts here, and what a move by Britt Cooper to use her quickness to go around Seltzer. Impressive stuff. She earns the 3-point opportunity. Montana Western is cruising up by 14, 4:39 to go before halftime, and boy, do they look good.
The fans from Montana Western, they have made their way from Dillon, Montana to cheer on their Bulldogs. And they are happy right now. 14-point lead here in the second quarter. Krista Blunt, Elise Woodward with you. So glad you could join us for the national championship game. This would be the first we've mentioned for Montana Western. And a potential 9th for the Stars, but at least Oklahoma City has to figure out a way out of that big zone, which has been effective defensively against everybody this year.
Everybody.
They got to box out of it, and that's not easy out of a zone sometimes.
I think they're a little bit stunned right now because they hold teams to 29% field goal shooting this season, and right now when they do get stops against Montana Western, they're not grabbing those defensive boards where they excel. Their numbers rebounding this year, the reason why they're in this title game and the reason why they've had such great success is because of their size and their rebounding, out-rebounding opponents by an average of 11 a game. And right now, the smaller, quicker, undersized team in Montana Western is beating them on the glass. The #1 key for Montana Western was to be able to rebound and not get beat by a lot. Well, they're, in fact, winning that battle.
Selzer working hard, another chance, and hits it. Abby Selzer with the bucket.
And I think for OKCU, they need to make a run here, put a dent into this. 4 minutes and change to go before halftime. They would love to whittle this down to single digits.
Yeah, very good point. Definitely before this break. Still have 4 minutes. They need some stops, and then they need to connect at the other end. King on the drive. She kicks it out to Lamy, who brings it into the lane, and a little contact, no whistle. They play on. Rebound. For the takeaway there from Nishyla Hammonds. Smith, and there's hand in the passing lane by Tori Anderson, who's come back in.
Numbers.
King on the drive, and nobody stopped her.
And sometimes that is the scary part of setting your defense up in a 2-3 zone. When you don't have a player and you're in transition defense, it's really difficult at times. Nobody called ball, and you better know with Bree King, she's going to be going to the hoop.
Selzer again, she's the big key. Got to get her going. She averages 17 points per game. She was Conference Freshman of the Year. She's the WBCA NAIA All-American this year. What a first year she's having.
Yeah, to lead your team as a freshman and coming off the bench.
Yes. Yeah, off
so
the bench.
In 21 minutes a game, she averages 17 points per game. It's impressive efficiency for the little freshman learning her way.
Holmes kicks it out to King, and nobody out there. You can't leave her. And a whistle and a foul as some pressure applied after the make, and Bree King says, my bad.
No, I like that kind of foul. She was going for the, for the big time steal and to put an exclamation point on this first half.
No one out there in a blue jersey. The Stars got to know where she is.
Yeah, she is the player that if she has any kind of room, she's going to make you pay. 39 points yesterday.
Great drive by Smith, but too much on it. And a chance to extend the lead for the Bulldogs. 29-4 coming in on the year. For Oklahoma City, 33-4. It's their 13th 30-plus winning season.
I love it. Bree King just like, yeah, I'll flip it behind my back. She's feeling in her rhythm today, feeling good.
Smith tips it away into the hands of Lockhart. Can't get the layup. A little more hustle we're seeing, and now a jump ball. And I do think the hustle plays have been going the Bulldogs' way, and now we're starting to see a little more intensity from the Stars.
Well, Montana Western has just shot the ball so well in this first half, but when they haven't hit their shots, they have been chasing every rebound and making it difficult on the Stars. And that's why they've built this 16-point lead. But can they continue to shoot the ball this well in the second half?
Yeah, big key for them.
They've extended this now. I mean, this is a commanding lead before halftime and another turnover.
Bulldogs looking to push. Trying to get set up before the defense does. Just under 2 minutes left here in the second quarter. It's been a big punch by Montana Western. Shot clock winding down. Much better pressure way outside the arc. King close to that one. The rebound is Selzer, but right into the hands of Anderson. Oh, and then a tough pass on the inbound, almost a throwaway. Is Shamika Smith able to track it down? She's quick. She saved us today at shoot-around.
Yeah, she did. Ball going right for our faces, and she managed to deflect it and tip it away.
And there you go. There's the answer, I think, for the Stars, Abby Selzer. But if you're trading 2s and 3s, you got to hope, if you're Oklahoma City, that the Bulldogs cool down a little bit out there.
Well, what a performance so far by Montana Western.
Oh. Follow through in the air. Bree King continues.
They're on pace for 90-plus points in this one. They have come to play. They are intense. They are so confident. They look like they're on a mission to win this championship.
High arcer, pretty shot is through. Brennan Siegler with the bucket.
And they needed that so desperately. You look up at the score, it pulls them within 16. And I always say, minutes to points. If you got 20 minutes and you're within 20, you're still alive. 10 minutes, you got to be within 10. It's just a simple formula that coaches use. There's plenty of time in the second half to force misses and to get boards and to go down and score, but that bucket was huge.
Holmes on the drive, stepping in is Britt Cooper. The movement without the basketball, so key for the Bulldogs.
Let's see if they can get a stop here under 10.
Smith on the drive, can't get it. Rebound down to Cooper. And she gets the shot, but well off the mark. And with .2 left on the clock, it'll be a quick inbound before halftime. What a first half of play for Montana Western.
It's a dominating performance by them here in the first 20 minutes. And they're the #1 seed, and Oklahoma City U is the #3 seed. But in terms of tradition, in terms of experience, there's no doubt that Montana Western is the underdog in this game. They've never been here before, and this is the 13th appearance in this title game for the Saints. And look at them run off the floor with so much energy. They can feel a national championship.
Had to go to an overtime last night to get here. Bo Overton's team's got to find a way to regroup and start over down here at the half to Montana Western. We'll have that and much more for you. Some highlights right after this on ESPN3. Halftime here in Billings, Montana. What a first half of play. Montana Western up over Oklahoma City, 47-29. And we have a special guest. So glad to have Katie Green with us, the NAIA Manager of Athletics and Communications. Katie, thanks for being over here with us. Let's just talk a little bit about this tournament and what it takes to put on something like this. It's really been fun and just remarkable what goes into it.
You know, it really takes a lot of teamwork to get into this. You know, we've got Visit Billings, who's been a great partner in hosting this, as well as the Rocky Mountain staff and the Frontier Conference staff that, you know, they've really helped us come together, as well as the different departments within the national office, you know, championship staff, our director of officials, our athletic communications staff, you know, all of us coming together really makes this work. It's really no one person or the other. It's a lot of teamwork that goes into it.
For Billings, this is the third year in a row that Billings, Montana has hosted the NAIA National Championship Tournament. What do you love about Billings? Why does it work here? And what about in the future?
Well, as you can see tonight, we've got a great crowd. We've had great crowds all week. A lot of the elementary schools have brought in some of their kids on field trips throughout the week as they've had teaming up for character events. Each of the teams get to go to the schools, and so for the kids to come back and be able to see them play, it just really adds to the experience for the student athletes as well as the elementary kids. So just a really great thing to be able to see that come all full circle.
Some of the things that we've noticed in covering just these teams, these players, these individuals, incredible student athletes. There's so much about their character, but let's talk about the Champions of Character Award that you have in that team. Tell us a little bit about that.
So our Champions of Character Award really kind of represents someone on the team that represents the 5 core values. You know, respect, responsibility, integrity, servant leadership, and you know, that they really embody those core values. And each coach finds that student athlete, and it's really what we're based off of, you know, having them represent those 5 core values.
Absolutely.
For what you've seen in this tournament, the level of play, the great games, Montana Western looking for their first ever national championship, and then the tradition on the other side of OKCU. What do you think will be remembered about this tournament regardless of who wins it tonight?
You know, I think we're making history either side of who wins. You know, you've got Oklahoma City, who, like you said, is going for their 10th title, and Montana Western going for their first. So either way, we've got some history on our hands, and it'll be exciting to put that down in the record books.
No doubt about it. And you know, just what are you hoping for the future as you're learning more about this tournament and what it can create and the fun? What are some of the things that you're hoping to see down the road?
Things that we're hoping to see down the road is really just to continue our improvement, you know, continuing the student athlete experience and really making that a big deal for our student athletes, because they're the reason we're here. You know, if we don't have the student athletes, then we can't do things like this. So.
All right. Well, Katie, it's been such a great time. We're having so much fun, and these games have been phenomenal. And you and your whole staff and crew, phenomenal job. So thanks for being with us. We appreciate it, all you do.
Thank you guys for all that you do. It's great to have you here.
So glad to be here. Katie Green running things for the NAIA in this national championship game. We've got lots to show you coming up. The highlights from the first half of action. Bree King leading the way for Montana Western. Back here in Billings, Montana, getting ready for the third quarter here in a few minutes. We got some highlights for you, though, from the first couple of quarters of action. Krista Blank, Elise Woodward with you for this national championship game. And we thought this would be a little bit closer, Elise, but Montana Western really came out and they just said, we're going to hit some threes and we're going to extend this lead.
Well, there was a couple things that they needed to do to be able to keep pace with the Saints, and one is hit the 3-ball. And have they ever? 8 made threes in the first half for the Bulldogs. Impressive stuff, and it's not just been one player. That's Tori Anderson, the senior, who has been lights out, getting the outside and then getting inside with the drive, kicking it out to Bree King, who's made 5 threes in the first half. She's got 19 points at halftime. They have exploded out of the gates.
She has 19, Anderson has 12, and they worked it outside also. There you see Bignell getting to the action. I mean, working it around and really attacking the zone, and not only attacking it from the perimeter, but they've been able to go inside as well. So it's been a great combination for them.
Well, I think when you look at the numbers of what was expected and what Oklahoma City has been able to do all year, and that is hold opponents to 29% shooting. That's an average of 3 out of 10 shots.
Yeah.
Right now, Montana Western is shooting 58%. They have not only been better than averages, they've blown it apart. They've doubled that. Can they continue in the second half? You know, Bo Overton, who's already won a national championship, is going to make adjustments at halftime. They're getting into the seams and kicking out. What those adjustments will be, we will see, but you know that this is not over yet. An 18-point lead with the way that Oklahoma City can lock a team down, it's certainly not over.
They were down in last night's semifinal game to Our Lady of the Lake, and they were able to come back and extend that one. You know they have it in them. They've got to kick up the intensity, though. They got to start winning some of those hustle plays, and then they've got to start getting some stops defensively. You're right. They got to get some help from Montana Western.
I don't think there's any way that you could have expected that it was Montana Western that shot the ball so well and out-rebounded Oklahoma City by 5. And that was the surprising thing because they are so undersized compared to the Saints. But the Bulldogs of Montana Western, man, they played so hard and so poised in that first 20 minutes.
A big plus for Oklahoma City, they have depth. And so if you're Bo Overton, I'm guessing we're going to see him go to his bench, maybe push the tempo just a bit more and see if they can get right back into this one. They've got a little bit of a hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. We'll have the third quarter of action for you coming up right after this on ESPN3. Back inside Rimrock Auto Arena in Billings, Montana. The NAIA Division I Women's Basketball National Championship game. We are at halftime, getting ready for quarter number 3. Krista Blunt, Elise Woodward with you. And some impressive numbers in particular from Montana Western in the first half. They really came at big, Elise.
Well, they won just about every category. They shot better, they defended better, they had more rebounds, they had more points in the paint. So for a team that is so big down low, Oklahoma City, look, those numbers were dominated by Montana Western. Now, certainly, points in the paint doesn't just mean you kick it into your post player and they make a hook shot. It's also fast break transition points when you get out and you have a lay-in. It's getting in the lane for a pull-up jumper against that 2-3 zone. But Montana Western, so smart and efficient in the way they played. 58% shooting and 8 made threes. That is how you come out and you make a statement in a national championship game.
And for the Stars, they took care of the ball pretty well. Just 5 turnovers in the first half. They're going to have to clean things up as we get ready for the third quarter of action. We'll see what Bo Overton has in his bag of tricks. We come back right after this on ESPN3. Ready for quarter number 3. It's the NAIA Division I Women's Basketball National Championship here in Billings, Montana, and Rimrock Auto Arena. What a first half of play for Montana Western, the 1 seed, coming in, not a lot of depth, but 6 seniors, and that experience, at least, I think, can carry you so far.
Well, there's a sense of urgency when you know this is your last chance. This is your last game, win or lose. This is your last chance to win a national championship. This is it, and there's so many different factors, but the sense of urgency of there is no tomorrow in this game for those 6 seniors.
Well, the length right there, Taylor Sylvester at 6'5", the junior, making a difference. She really makes you alter things on the interior.
So if you're Oklahoma City, you're thinking get it to within single digits by the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That you just have to think possession by possession, stops and buckets, and they got the initial stop they needed.
Good hesitation into the lane, but losing it, Peyton Taylor, and the jump ball. It's going to stay with Oklahoma City.
And for Oklahoma City, they have to come out with an increased sense of energy. They have to fight back. Are they going to hang their heads? They're not used to being down by 18 points at halftime.
Shot clock down to 4. Taylor comes up with it. Shot is short. Long rebound. There's some second effort. Some of the first offensive boards we've seen, but a takeaway by King. Looking to push. Wow. And she does. Splits the defenders with the crossover.
Oh, that was pretty. Just went right in between. It was 1-on-2 and used that ball handling to just slice in between the two of them.
National Player of the Year, and the inside play there for Sylvester. She gets fouled. She'll get free throws. The foul against Cooper. Boy, look at this.
This is right here.
Oh.
There's one little sliver of daylight for her to get to the bucket, and she crosses right over in between the two defenders. That is exciting, entertaining, and for Bree King, that's her 21st point of the afternoon. She had 39 yesterday.
Free throws good. Taylor Sylvester, the junior, all-conference honorable mention member, pulls her team within 18. Bulldogs.
I love their patience. You see how 4 different players have touched the ball on this possession.
Skip to King, ball fake, loses the defender and sticks it. Bree King.
Wow.
She's hoping to play overseas when she gets done. She's going to be finishing up, getting her degree, and this is a player, she wants to be an occupational therapist, but she's the 2-time conference player of the year. And you can see why, and there's a pretty move. The Stars could use more of that, Taylor LaCour.
Yeah, Bree King, ball in her hands. Started at Spokane Community College and then transferred last year to Montana Western. Made it to the Final Four, but boy, is she something special.
Impressive shooting from King.
6 made threes already for the senior.
And she had 5 last night as they work it inside. It's blocked, batted around, and the Stars come down with it. They need a bucket. The drive. Hammonds, the and one. Little burst of energy there from the Shyla Hammonds, the junior. How about her game last night?
When you see the isolation, there's no white jerseys behind Paige Holmes to help out, so she has to try to get back in front, and it doesn't happen. Hammond's too athletic, but that's what the Stars have to do. They've only made 2 3-point shots in this game.
Yeah.
When you are down by this many, you need 3 points, and you can't give up 3 at the other end like they've been doing. So a 3-point opportunity is big. Now they got to think stop.
Junior gets the 3-point play. She had 11 points last night. She had 17 rebounds in their win against Our Lady of the Lake. Ball fake and drive, the kick around. Anderson, she was hot in the first half. That one too much on it. And the rebound down to Kay, and hounding and staying with it was Paige Holmes, but she gets whistled for the personal.
And already 3 team fouls for Montana Western. So 2 more, and Oklahoma City will be into the bonus. You do not want to continue to foul, stop the clock, put points up on the board. I mean, you're thinking every single possession, we need one more stop to get this national championship.
Yeah, that's a very good point, as the shot's off the mark there from Lockhart, who's checked back in. Mallory Lockhart, the freshman out of Keller, Texas.
And even though that was well beyond NBA range deep, that's her range. She is such a great 3-point shooter. Already 104 makes this season, leads the team.
Bulldogs working the perimeter, driving it in, kicking it back out. Anderson, the air ball, long rebound back to her. Shot clock is at 5. They have to recognize. Smith, step back. Can't get it. The rebound into the hands of Lamy. Great hustle by the Bulldogs. Attacking the zone, and the foul for Britt Cooper, who'll go to the line.
And that's a foul where Britt Cooper didn't have a good angle. This is a tough shot when she sees Taylor Sylvester at 6'5" underneath the hoop. It's a bailout foul. You just got to go straight up, get in her space a little bit. But Britt Cooper at the free throw line, that's a much better shot, 2 free throws, than it is falling away from the hoop with an angle where she couldn't really get it to bank.
The foul went against Nashyla Hammonds, her first. And the free throw's good for Britt Cooper, senior from Harrison, Montana. An incredible student athlete. How about 4 different players scholar athletes, Daktronic scholar athletes for Montana Western, 3 scholar athletes for Oklahoma City. Both teams got some smarty pants out there, at least.
Which is what it's all about. You get to play hoops at a high level. You're representing your entire community here this evening, but when it's all said and done, you're getting a degree that is the most valuable thing you can have.
All right. Abby Selzer back into the interior. Shot clock winding down up into the high post, and it's just short from LaCour.
You're seeing a little bit of body language right now by the Saints. The air ball there, hey, that happens. You're going to miss shots, whether you miss it by a foot or you miss it by 10 feet. It's just one miss, but you see a little sag of the shoulders a little bit. Montana Western has command of this game with 5 and change to go in this third period. There's a timeout coming up at the next dead ball under 5 minutes, and Montana Western would love to just put a real exclamation point on before halftime, or excuse me, before that timeout.
They work it around the perimeter, in and out. That was Holmes on the bucket, and it ends up back with Bree King. Oh, spin move in the lane, up and good.
She is so special. That spin move and then just flipping it up off glass, that's the exclamation point they wanted before this next timeout. They're gonna run over there and be fired up.
And they try to work it inside deep to Selzer, but it's blocked. Britt King's done an exceptional job defensively. Good transition defense. LaCour gets back and knocks it out. But the momentum continuing for Montana Western. They have extended their lead, the largest of the ball game, thanks to that senior, Bree King, up by 20. This is what happened last night against Freed Hardeman.
Are you kidding? There were 2 seconds, 2.1 seconds to be exact. Well coached on the side by Lindsay Woolley, taking the timeout, advancing the ball, and getting it to the player that could cash it in, Bree King, who had 39 points, including that three-pointer that put the game into overtime. She misses it, they go home without the win that they wanted, without the national championship they wanted. She hits it, they go to overtime, and they extended that lead and won by 7. And what a game it was for Bree King. But here they have carried that momentum over into this game against the 3-seed Oklahoma City.
Yeah, you never know if you have enough left after a game like that, but they do, and they're attacking. This was the game plan going in. Coach Lindsay Woolley, the conference coach of the year in his 7th season, told us, he said, we have to attack the zone. He said, I want points in the paint. And I think his team has pretty much done everything he's asked and told us that they needed to do.
So many times you see teams, there's a zone, they just shoot the 3. And when the defense extends, they just get back further. They haven't done that at all. You see the movement with this team, with the ball and with players inside the zone.
4 minutes left here in the third quarter. And the shot is up and good. Multiple players getting involved. Bree King is leading the way, but others aren't shying away from taking their shots either, Elise.
Absolutely. This has been a team effort led by Bree King.
Drive into the lane, good aggressive play, and frustration. Mallory Lockhart's going to get some free throws.
And so that's the 4th team foul. So Lockhart, about as automatic as you get at the foul line. This will be an automatic 2, and then after this, it will be a 2-shot. It'll be 2 shots on every foul for the rest of this quarter. So Montana Western has to be careful.
Yeah, that would be a big plus for the Stars, as the first one is good for the freshman out of Keller, Texas. Just 4 misses on the season, and I am not trying to jinx her, but it's so impressive.
I don't think it's possible
what she's done. 3rd team all-conference member, and she sticks it 8 for 8 last night.
Whatever, you can't affect me.
Not jinxing her.
You could be right in her face, whispering in her ear.
She probably closed her eyes even and just said, whatever, Krista.
She is pure, and it's not just from the line where she shoots 93%. From 3-point line, she's 42%.
Yeah.
What a freshman.
Wooster back in. Gets it to King. Shot clock down to 4, way outside. Cannot get it, and a good box out and rebound by Nishyla Hammonds. Stars looking to push. They need a boost with 3 minutes left in the third quarter.
Oh, they got to get, they have to start getting on a run. They have to start getting those stops. And that's not how you do it. Just a miscommunication there. You can see Abby Seltzer look back and just kind of throw her hands up. Hammonds thought she was going to post hard. She was releasing. It looked like it could maybe come set a pick and roll. The ball just goes right out of bounds.
Yeah, miscue from high to low. And we work our way to the other end. 20-point lead for the Bulldogs. Big Nell. Oh, great hands by Smith. She's out running. And gets the shot off, and she gets fouled, and she'll get free throws. She's the player that really gives the team the spark, and she's coming in and making things happen.
Well, that is exactly what you need, a formula when you're down by 20 and you've got nothing left after this. You've got 12 minutes and 35 seconds to go, and you got to work this lead down. Steals and quick points on the other end, and quick points with the shot with the clock stops. Your defense can get set, and everything can get set up for you. This is what you need more of.
That foul against Big Nell, her second, as the free throw's good for Shamika Smith. Yeah, you need to try to build some momentum off of these sorts of plays. Defense creating some offense. And now if you can get another stop here. Skip way over. Paige Holmes, no good. Rebound comes down to Siegler. You're not going to get it all back at once, but if you can chip away a little bit here just before the fourth quarter starts, that's a big plus for Oklahoma City. Smith up top, guarded by King. Works it out to Lockhart. She'll drive it in, can't get the shot to go. And trying to box out, and does, is Paige Holmes. Not easy.
I'll tell you, Paige Holmes, what a defensive possession. At 5'6", she's trying to box out a player 6'2" and Abby Seltzer, and she goes and gets that board. That's what people talk about with heart and hustle and doing anything for your team to win.
Now, she's a glue player, Coach Woolley told us. And she'll get a rest, and they'll bring Anderson back in. Trying to get away from the D. The up and under is no good for Lamy. Another chance for the Stars. Smith, she's got to push. Nobody has that quickness. They kick it out to Taylor. She gets the ball fake, gonna bank it. Good. Peyton Taylor, the sophomore. There's some talented youth on this team again. Only 2 seniors for Oklahoma City. If they can keep this group together.
And the lead whittled down now to 16. Couple of scores in a row for OKC.
Oh, but Bignell high to low as Darby Shy just sort of snuck in on the baseline.
And again, 4 points for the senior, the 6-footer out of Malta, Montana, coming through with 2 really pretty buckets in this game. She's in there for defense and energy and, you know, a big body down low.
Doing all she could against Abby Seltzer, but she's going to get whistled for the personal. Great hustle at both ends. She's going to get a rest.
She needs to stay on the court. There she steps.
Yeah, she's ready. She needs the water.
She's laughing over there by her water. She's like, give me some of that, but you got to wait for the sub to be called in between the 2 free throws. There we go. Britt Cooper's on the floor now.
First free throw good for Abby Seltzer, freshman from Thomas, Oklahoma. And can't get the second.
And a rare miss. She is efficient at the free throw line. The top 3 scorers for Oklahoma City all shoot over 80% from the foul line.
Yeah, impressive.
They just have not got there enough in this game.
Yeah, good point. Trying the back cut was King, and instead it's a takeaway. Smith looking for help. Under a minute left here in the third quarter. 17-point lead for the Bulldogs. Seltzer inside, kicks it back out. Smith, aggressive drive on the left side, and they'll say off her leg. The defense getting it done, and now the official's going to talk things over. That's Marlon Schoonhoven, and they'll say nope, stay right here, and this crowd not happy with the call. Chris Cooper and Hannah Engel, our trio here tonight. I like that they come together. One or the other has a better or different angle. Shot clock is at 5, and the Stars have to recognize. Hammonds takes it in, banks it in.
4 seconds to go. Does King know?
Half-court bucket, no good. We saw both teams practicing that at their shoot-arounds today. That's going to do it, though, for quarter number 3. A little surge, a little chipping away by the Stars. They've still got a ways to go as we head into the 4th. Crowd on their feet, cheering on Montana Western. Krista Blanca, Elise Woodward with you. 4th quarter of action, and the winner will take the national championship crown. So glad you could be with us. What a first few quarters of this one for the Bulldogs. It's all gone their way, but you saw just a little bit, kind of spearheaded by this player here, Shamika Smith, kind of kicking it up a notch.
Oh. You saw Savannah Bignell, her knee just kind of gave out on her. We said she does not have an ACL on that right knee.
Yeah.
It tore at the beginning of the season, and she's continuing to play with it. You just saw her buckle, but she stays right in there.
So impressive. And wow, King, the takeaway, adding to her totals.
And you see her clapping those hands. So impressive. She does it on both ends of the floor. She's so good for her team. Now 28 points for the senior. 39 yesterday.
She had a 40-point game earlier in the season, which was a Montana Western record.
And I'll tell you, there's such a great crowd here, but the one person that has been so supportive for her is her mom, Heidi. That mom of 4 kids, single mom who did it by herself, raising those kids in Spokane, and went to pick her daughter up at the beginning of the season in September and got in a really terrible car crash on the way to pick up Bree, and was in severe, critical condition, ended up losing her arm, and told her daughter, Bree King, you go back to school, you go play, you're gonna finish your career, you're gonna finish your degree. And here she is in this national championship game. What a special moment for her mom and her.
And she's a mom that has been to all of Bree's games, watched her play, and guess what, Elise? Yes, she has made it here to Billings, Montana, to cheer her daughter on, who's a senior. And Bree actually thought about quitting and not going back and helping her mom. And her mom said, you're going to get your degree and you're going to finish the season. And boy, are the Bulldogs happy that she did. Just remarkable as finally Hammonds works it inside and gets the hoop.
Well, it's great that she can be here. It's
sure is
a drive from the Spokane area, that's for sure. But worth every bit of gas and every bit of time spent on that road.
It sure is. Oh, using the screen, Tori Anderson with the bucket.
And to open the 4th quarter, it was a 15-point lead for Montana Western, and the Saints had gone on a little run, and they had a little bit of momentum, and yet the Bulldogs coming out and pumping their fist and playing with energy and trying to finish this strong.
See if they can cut it even more, but no, the and one.
She's good. I mean, it's pretty obvious to everybody, right?
Yeah.
She could play at a really high level, and she has just been dominating this tournament. By far, the player of this tournament. Look at her just turn the corner, feel the contact, and go up strong anyway through the foul of Smith.
30 points, trying to add to it, and can't, but she's got 30. Yeah, there's a sign in the crowd that says, bow to the king, her last name being King. I'm with them on that.
I like it, I like it.
I do too, they are loving her here.
Well, and I think even as successful, she didn't have the grades that she needed to play at the high level. Went to community college and then really worked hard to be able to pass her classes to get into Montana Western. And she's gonna have her degree, and this is the easy part, right? Just tearing up defenses. Now 32 points for the senior King.
Well, she just took it right at 6'5". Taylor Sylvester, and this crowd is on their feet. Domination by the Montana Western Bulldogs. Fans of all ages loving this. We've got a good one here in the fourth. What was a 15-point lead has now been extended here in the fourth quarter thanks to Bree King and company. Montana Western is controlling this game with 7:07 left. Krista Blank, Elise Woodward with you. The national championship crown is on the line.
I'll tell you, this isn't a game, this is a show. And you've got your tickets and your popcorn, and these fans are so fired up. There's been such a great atmosphere here in this arena this week. But last night, when Bree King made the three with 2 seconds to go to send the game into overtime down by 3, and then today with this performance, I mean, this is legendary stuff for Dillon, Montana, for Montana Western University. I mean, this is big time stuff. They've never won a national championship in women's basketball.
Never won one, never been in the championship game, haven't had a title since wrestling back in '94. We mentioned that earlier, and just remarkable what they're seeing. And some local fans here also just enjoying some great hoops, and they've seen some great hoops.
Well, Lindsey Woolley, the head coach for Montana Western in his 7th year, says, yeah, this team, they're a little goofy sometimes, but they know how to buckle down when they need to. And what a job. Yesterday, he coached just his tail off in those last minute. They were down by 6 points yesterday with 40 seconds to go, and his game plan had to walk it back to even have a chance to extend the game to overtime. Was really impressive.
What these coaches do, they put in so much time. Bo Overton, we have to note that he is by himself, sort of sidelines. He's got a redshirt player, Andy Pierce, sitting by him because his assistant coach, Megan Patel, she's expecting their first baby on March 24th, and she and her husband, Vinay, he's the men's coach, and so Bo, he's been getting information, though. I'm sure he touched base with her at halftime, but it's been hard without her, that's for sure.
Do any day. And her husband on the men's side is going to be really busy with the tournament.
They're getting ready to kick theirs off, but they will be in Kansas City at least, so a little closer in case she needs him. But we wish them nothing but luck and joy with their first baby.
And how about doing all the video work from home right now?
Yes. It never ends. Yeah, whistle and a foul. It's going to go against Hammonds. 6:07 left.
Well, for Montana Western, with this lead now at 22 points and 6 minutes to go, they can taste it, they can smell it, they can feel it. All they're thinking is, give me this trophy and let's hear the buzzer sound.
Well, it's a team that faced the Masters in the quarterfinals, and they had a player that was 6'7", and Coach Woolley said, you know, we're going to try to have kind of the same game plan, go against this bigger, longer team and attack them, and they have done just that.
Well, nobody has been able to slow down Bree King, no matter how big they are, no matter how long they are with their arms. She's gotten inside, outside. She'll steal it and go the distance on the defensive end of the offense. She's done everything.
Experience really being a key for Montana Western. She's part of that experience. This is a team that made it to the semifinals last year. They were knocked out by Freed Hardman. This year, they knocked them out to get to this point. And the experience, remembering that.
And I love how they've worked the clock here in the second half. Again, both sides of the court, everybody touching the ball. You see the reversal. That time it's a turnover, but it's the right idea. It's a very rare miscue by the offense.
Yeah.
And you can see Coach Woolley looking up at that scoreboard. Are we there yet?
Yes. Don't stop that clock. Don't stop that clock.
Keep it running.
7th season as the head coach. Spent 8 seasons at Miles Community College. He coached both the men's and women's programs there, and he said he knew that he wanted to coach the women's side. And here he is, and boy, the Stars could use more of that. Michaela Kay, the senior out of Spokane with the 3.
Yeah, her experience and leadership, crucial to get the Stars to this championship game.
We talked to her a little bit at their shoot-around. She said, you know, this is everything you dream of. You know, this is your final season. This is where you want to be, this opportunity. We're going to take a timeout here in the 4th. 4:42 left. And it's a big double-digit lead for Montana Western. Back here in Billings, Montana, Oklahoma City, they've got a big hill to climb here in the fourth with 4:42 left. But we've seen crazier things happen. You never know, Elise.
That is true. It's never over till it's over. Just ask Coach Woolley.
Yes. His team last night. How about that? Down 6 points in the fourth quarter with 40 seconds left. You and I were here. We were watching. We're breaking it down. Do they miss a free throw? Should they not? Can they do it? Do they have timeouts? We're trying to figure out all the scenarios. And he was still subbing players that had foul trouble in and out. He was making so many decisions. Really impressive victory last night in the semis.
It's one of those things that fans, I think, can think, oh, yeah, it's over, and turn the TV off or head to the exits. And for coaches, they've just seen too many times. The one time
That's right.
that you'll come back and get bit.
Paige Holmes can't connect. Rebound comes down to Hammonds.
Well, for Oklahoma City, they have to start getting threes. They have to either get three-point plays or three-point shots. But to cut into a 19-point lead in 4 minutes to go, just by a formula, it's increase your pressure and get buckets. And that's just not, it's just not going to do it. You can't cut into the lead by twos at this point.
Yeah, trying to work it into Selzer, and she was right there but can't get it, but she gets the takeaway. This is a team that Coach Overton told us, he said, they've been so calm. They had some very close first, second, quarterfinal rounds, semifinal rounds, but they have been very calm, as you see Lockhart weaving her way in. She's just a freshman. A lot of talent with her, now full court pressure.
Yeah, now a 2-2-1 put in place by the Saints. They got their defensive unit out.
Oh, behind the back pass, works it into Cooper. She kicks it out. Anderson almost got it. Long rebound, and again.
Now you want to kick it out now.
Yep.
Kick it out, run clock.
Another chance for the Bulldogs.
And a beautiful pass by Marie King, didn't lead to a bucket.
And now inside. You know what I think? Is she's sort of Matrix-like in her movements. It's so fluid in her control and finish. I mean, she's only 5'5". She's not a big stature guard.
Well, it's one of those things that you just can't teach the instincts that she has. She gets into the lane and she has to react to the angles of the defense and how many bodies are there and where her teammates are. And she makes the right read time after time after time. And then she's got the body control and the strength to be able to finish with contact and finish over the top of a player that's a foot taller than her, such as Taylor Sylvester, who's 6'5". I tell you, she has put on an absolute show tonight and put her team in position right now to wrap up a national championship.
Subs for both sides. First free throw good for Mallory Lockhart, freshman from Keller, Texas. I like the play of this young player, a third-team all-conference member, and just keeps sticking those free throws. But she's got a bright future, and they're going to continue some full-court pressure.
Oh, this Oklahoma City team only has 2 seniors. That's it.
Yeah.
Their #1 and #2 scorers are both freshmen. They come off the bench. So Bo Overton getting this young squad with all these new faces to the national championship game as the 3 seed. That's impressive. It goes to the coaching job that he has done this season.
He said the depth, they were young, so they started the young players, and even though they started to excel, they liked the rotation and the way it worked when they came off the bench. And he said, it's a smart team. How about a 3.6 team GPA? He said, that gets a lot of respect around the conference.
And around their own campus.
Sure does. Oh, the steal. Brennan Siegler pulls it up. There's Smith with the step back and cannot hit it. And the threes just have not been there for the Stars. They've only hit 3 threes, but 9 have gone through for the Bulldogs with 2 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Bulldogs, if they can finish out, it'll be their first national championship. Shot clock winding down. Cooper, second and third effort. The hustle plays and now work the clock, yes.
So smart. You get in there, you pass it to yourself on the rim, essentially. You get up, you hit it off the rim, you come down with a rebound, you kick it out. Now you got your fans getting to their feet. And big smiles coming across the faces that are here to support Montana Western.
King continuing to add to her totals.
You can hear the cheering section for the Bulldogs. MVP. Yeah, I don't think you really need to chant it because it's so obvious, right?
39 points last night. The decisive three-pointer that sent him to overtime as she's 1 for 2 from the line.
Well, she's well over 30 tonight, our stat monitor right now, not up to date, but boy.
Minute and a half left here in this one. It's been a great season and a great tournament here in Billings, Montana. Billings will be the host next year also. And they're listing King with 37 points. Wow.
39 in the semis and 37 in the championship game. Oh. She's been unstoppable and not a selfish player at all. Like she's taken good shots. She's delivered the ball to teammates when she needs to.
Working it in. There's Smith, the junior, and a timeout called for Bo Overton. With 1:04 left, going to talk things over for potentially the final time with this group this year. And probably going to look to his bench to get some others some playing time, and he will. As Veronica Harjo is going to check in, the freshman from Edmond, Oklahoma. But the Montana Western fans are having a fun time here and on their feet.
Well, I just think when you're from Dillon, Montana, and the university has about 1,200 students there, and the entire town has somewhere under 5,000. It's such a huge part of the Dillon community. And they have embraced this team, and they have supported this team. Look at these fans. They have driven 4 hours to get here today, the whole community. I mean, we heard the town shut down. They're putting closed signs on the grocery stores.
We got to get to Billings.
You got to get here to witness history. This is great for the Montana Western community, for this university. I mean, this is a team that will go down in history as the best that's ever come through that university. And as we mentioned, it's not just in women's basketball. The last title they won was in 1994 in wrestling.
11 players on this team from the state of Montana. Montana feeling pretty proud right now of this group as the clock's down, partially blocked into the head. That's the way this game has gone for Montana Western. And a timeout again called for Bo Overton. Bo Overton gonna bring his team together. A great season they've had, 33-4 coming into this one, 20-2 in conference play. They were conference champs in the Sooner Athletic Conference. They've won 4 in a row in conference titles. They've been to this tournament now 22 years in a row. You talk about tradition, and that's exactly what Bo Overton said. He said, that's why he came there. He's from Oklahoma. He played at Oklahoma. He said, I knew the tradition. I knew it was unbelievable, and the support that he's gotten. And this young team with just 2 seniors. We're going to see them back again, I'm sure. Mesa King is in, 42 in white for Montana Western, as on the drive, she's fouled. It'll be Lockhart again going to the stripe. We didn't see Mesa King much. She came in and had some solid minutes last night in the semifinal. Foul's gonna go on her first. She's a redshirt freshman out of Big Timber, Montana. And Brandy Bookout's gonna come back in. Another senior, and a standing ovation for Bree King. 37 points, 6 threes on the evening. They are bowing to the king. Free throw's good for Lockhart.
I'll tell you, she's got a huge smile on her face. Her teammates all congratulating her. This is a moment she'll remember the rest of her life. This team will remember the rest of their life. Coming out in a national championship game from the start and just putting it to the next gear. The entire game, they never let off. It was a 15-point lead at halftime, and it's a 16-point margin right now.
And the official saying shot clock violation with 0.3 seconds left. And Lindsay Woolley, the head coach for the Bulldogs, saying, okay, off the court, everybody. And that's gonna do it. For the first time in Bulldogs history, the national championship goes to Coach Lindsay Woolley and the Montana Western Bulldogs. The comeback last night and the dominance here into this one, Elise. What a championship game.
And now the confetti's coming down. Congratulations to Montana Western, well deserved. And this team, you'll remember Bree King, and she'll get the MVP chance, but this was such a team effort. From the defense to the rebounding in the first half to the passing, it was a brilliant performance in the biggest game of their life. They came out ready and got it done. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Coach Lindsay Woolley and the Montana Western Bulldogs, national champions. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to talk to the head coach and have much more celebration for you from here in Billings, Montana. Celebration for the Montana Western Bulldogs as they just take the national championship crown here in Billings, Montana. Crystal Blanc, Elise Woodward with you, and the winning coach of the Bulldogs, Lindsay Woolley. And Coach, congratulations. What a dominant game. You know, you had to go to overtime last year, and we wondered, would they have enough in the tank? There was no doubt about it from the get-go, it seemed.
They were ready to go, and obviously Bree does what she does in big games, and I thought defensively our undersized bigs did a good job as well as they could. And then on the boards, I thought it was a group effort. It was awesome.
Yesterday, you had to have a 3 at the end of regulation to push it to overtime. You were down by 6, or excuse me, yeah, down by 6 with 40 seconds to go, and you somehow managed to get it into overtime. Today, it was totally different. And yet, you didn't really give a smile, or I kept seeing you look at the clock. What was it like, the difference in perspective between the stress of those two different kind of games?
Well, tonight you just want the clock to run. It felt like those media timeouts were like 5 minutes long. I thought we were in the NBA, but it's totally different because you feel like they're going to make a 15-point shot at any point in time. And our kids were composed. They were way more composed and poised than I was.
You know, Coach, I know you draw up things all year long, and you just hope that they'll execute it maybe close to what you drew up. Coming into this game, you had some keys for us that you told us had to happen. And it's as if every single thing you said worked. It was exactly what they needed to do, and they did it. Did you get that feeling that the game plan was set and that they were executing? Because it sure felt like it to us.
It did. I mean, just defensively, we made a couple mistakes early on the big kids where they got some easy ones, but you know, and then offensively, they just did such a good job of getting in the paint and making good decisions with the ball. Like, you know, when you play oversized teams, you got to spread them, and I just thought their zone offense was really on point tonight.
What does this mean to your university, Montana Western? What does this mean to Dillon, Montana, to be the national champion?
I think it means a lot. I mean, we're obviously a small institution in a small town, and it was funny, my AD was joking with me. We've only won one national championship in anything other than rodeo. It was wrestling years ago, and they actually canceled the program like the next year. He says, well, he goes, bad news is if you win, no.
I don't think that's going to happen, Coach,
yeah,
just a thought.
It's awesome exposure for our university, and it's a great institution. And, you know, really for our student body, I mean, you see we got a ton of students here. It's awesome.
You have the community here, no doubt about it. You have 6 seniors on this team. Talk about that group and what this means for them, the hard work that they have, losing in the semis last year, but getting all the way to this point.
They just stuck with it, and they continued to work, and they believe in each other so much, and they're unselfish. I mean, we have a couple that come off the bench that have just as much energy as the ones that play the majority of the minutes, and you know, it's a team, and we've gotten contributions from our bench kids throughout the entire tournament, and then obviously these last couple games, Bree was pretty special.
For you personally, it's a hard grind to be a coach, and you know, when you're doing those long hours, you got this little cutie pie Avery, who is such a mini me and so behaved. I'm so impressed. But he's going to remember this moment forever, and so are you. What's it for you personally to get this title?
I don't know. I never thought I never thought I'd be sitting here talking to you two. We just hoped that we could, you know, get a program that would consistently compete for bids in this tournament, and you get a little taste of it like we did last year. And I think, you know, your kids just kind of take you over the top, and you continue to try to keep them composed and take it one possession at a time, and that's what they've done.
Well, Coach, you've certainly made Dillon, Montana proud, the state of Montana proud, and everybody here. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
You already brought the scissors over. You're ready to go. You've got a net to cut down. Congratulations, national champions.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, congratulations.
All right, Coach Lindsay Woolley, the national champs for Montana Western. And that's going to do it. We're going to wrap things up here from Billings, Montana. The celebration continues on. Here on ESPN3.
And from Green-Hardeman University, Carrie Hatchell. Members of your 2019 All-Tournament First Team from Green-Hardeman, Haley Crew. From Hardeman of the Lake, Destiny King. From Oklahoma City, Abby Seltzer. From Hardeman of the Lake, Patience Open. And from Montana Western, Tori Anderson. The most valuable player of this year's national tournament, Montana Western's Brianna.
Yeah. Back here in Billings, Montana, the MVP of the NAIA Division I Women's Basketball National Championship. It is Bree King from Montana Western. She finishes up, Elise, with 37 points tonight, 39 last night. There's not much she didn't do.
She was unstoppable, and she scored in all three layers of the defense. From behind the three-point line, she had 6 made threes. From the pull-up mid-range game, she was just deadly. And then she'd take it all away herself. Look at this, split in the defense, too fast, too much body control, too much speed. Everywhere, she was absolutely deadly. Pull-up three, fading away from the defense. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, just not much she didn't do. Again, she wants to play overseas after she finishes up, hoping to be an occupational therapist. But right now, she's the MVP. And there's Coach Lindsay Woolley, and what a job he's done getting his team to this national championship and getting the first one in program history.
He coached so well last night, down by 6, 40 seconds to go, and had his team believe and had them execute to get to the national championship game. And then it was all Bulldogs today. They executed the game plan to perfection. They out-rebounded a bigger, longer team. They made big shots. I mean, it was an epic performance for that university.
That's exactly what it was going to take. And they had to bring it after an overtime game last night. And also honoring the Oklahoma City Stars. What an impressive season, 33-5 on the year. There's Shamika Smith making the tournament team. Only 2 seniors on this Stars team. You can bet they're going to make their way back somehow.
Yeah, well, it doesn't feel good for the seniors that are there. One of them, Michaela Kay, the 5'6" senior out of Spokane, who played really well this season, had a great career transferring from Portland State. I know it hurts, it stings. They had visions of a national championship. The other senior on the roster, Taylor LaCour, who had some great moments today, really good athlete. And what a great career she had, averaging 8.5 points per game here as a senior.
Those 2 seniors, Elise, our Daktronics Scholar athletes. I mean, they are all academic scholar athletes that are going to go on to do amazing things in this world also, but it's still tough.
Well, it's tough. It's tough every time you lose because you come out here to win, right? And any competitor, you don't want to leave on a loss, any game. But I think it's also the emotions of knowing for the seniors, win or lose, this is the last time you get to put on this uniform, and it's the last time you get to play in front of fans cheering for you. And it's the last time that you're part of a team that you've put so much blood, sweat, and tears with. Practicing every day, weights, lifting, and there's so much that goes into a season and a career. And you start playing, you know, when you're 4 or 5 years old, and this is it. And it is really emotional for the seniors, win or lose.
It certainly is. And Bo Overton, the head coach in his 4th season, heading out, Conference Coach of the Year this year, and taking the placard for his team. But it was all Bulldogs here tonight as they dominated here in this championship final. Next year, it'll be right back here in Billings, Montana. And we cannot wait to see what the season has in store, as there's the 2 seniors, Taylor LaCour, Michaela Kay. Great season for them, and tough to see, but great sports and smiles on the faces of the Montana Western Bulldogs.
For the tremendous support of the University of Montana Western throughout the tournament. First, for the Bulldogs.
Crowd still on their feet, getting some honors.
Gracie Meyer.
That's just about going to do it for us here from Billings, Montana. So glad you could be with us here. And for our entire crew, for Elise Woodward, and everybody here who put on this incredible national championship, we say so long from Billings, Montana. Our final score, Montana Western 75, Oklahoma City 59. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Thanks, everybody, and good night.
Bree King. Tori Anderson. Savannah Bignell. Mesa King. Darby Shaw. Assistant coach, Tony Nakashima. And head coach, Mr. Lindsay Woolley. Now will the team captains please come forward and receive the champion team trophy. Congratulations to the University of Montana Western. Now we ask that the rest of the Bulldogs team please come to center court to receive the coveted NAIA Division I Women's Basketball Championship banner. This concludes our awards presentation. On behalf of the NAIA and the City of Billings, thank you to each and every one of you for making the 2019 NAIA Division I Women's Basketball National Championship a memorable experience.